Here we go. Premier League. Miles, before we even get into what happened today, you're not playing Spurs tomorrow. Now, this is one of the more pleasant rivalries that you enjoyed during your younger days as a West Ham hooligan, isn't it?
I wasn't a hooligan. I just, as a West Ham, you just are not allowed to run if anything happens.
Right.
With West Ham, we don't run.
We don't
run. If you do, your own mob will catch up with you and you'll get a bigger item than if you'd just stayed in the first place.
Were there one or two rumbly occasions with the Yid faithful?
Many, mate. I'll bore you with some someday. Yeah, I know. I mean, every away game, it was like going on manoeuvres in enemy territory. Like Leeds you go. The train goes right past Ellen Road, right? There was an empty paddock between the railway line and there. They could have easily put a platform up and you could just stroll to the ground.
Yes.
But they take you 3 miles into town. You have to go on underpasses, back street, the whole bloody lot. Bricks getting thrown at you. It's just... Yeah, no, I mean, there's so many miserable. Sunderland was an horrible place to go as well. Cardiff, Swansea, there's so many.
Well, what about the time at St James's Park with that beautiful photo on the back page of The Sun, and there is you and there is Cass Pennant, who was an ICF man, and there was, I think, a petrol bomb that exploded. Yes,
yeah,
and you were warming your hands up on the flames, is what the photo says.
Oh, mate. But that game, like the first 20 minutes of that game, we were in the corner up at the Leeds' end, but all in a corner, all the West Ham fans, and we were getting pelted with coins and thing. And then this dart came flying over, and I bent down and thought, right, you swines, I'm going to chuck it back. So I bent down to pick up, and as I stood up to throw it back, there was a copper there. I went, "Oh, officer, I was just going to give it back to you. Would you like to do it?" And then after 20 minutes, the thing came over. It's a milk bowl with petrol and lit with a newspaper in it. And it landed about 3 yards in front of me and blew up. And there was a couple of guys there that went up their trouser legs and set them on fire. But we all jackets and stamping on them. I'm sure they got hurt more by the stamping, putting it out, than they did by the flames. They kept us in for about an hour after the game because we were just seething. We just wanted the thing. And the next year, there was a leaflet went round the home game before we went away to Newcastle, saying, right, let's all go up there and get revenge, like trying to get a massive crew to go up. The police got hold of it. They canned all the special trains. No. Everything. So 4 of us went up in a car. We drove up there, got there late, got on the wrong side of the bloody ground from where West Ham were, where all the fans were. We ended up, we had to get seats, and we all agreed to keep quiet and and literally within a minute of being in there, these Geordies behind me going, "Oh, they're in the wrong seat. Oh, these Cockneys with that." And I went, "Excuse me, mate, have a look at that ticket number. What row's this? What seat's that? It ain't us who can't read, it's you, mob." My mate goes, "Is that what you mean by being quiet and unobtrusive, Miles?" And all the mob down the front that are standing there were all looking at us. And the thing, we said, well, if we score, we keep it sit down. It was 0-0, but anyway, there was a shot that went about a yard wide, and we were all 4 of us were up, like automatically. And we got chased after the game. We had to get to the car quickly and get out of there. But, oh, God. Yeah, the good old days, mate.
Good old days. You could chant at the Spurs fans and wouldn't get arrested like you do. Now, let's look at the results today. Aston Villa won, Man City 0. Man City lost 3 games this year. They're 6 points off the top of the table. Do we get excited about this, or do we still think they're going to win 11 in a row in January, after January?
Well, they're quite capable of winning 11 in a row, but the... And you even saw Guardiola, I don't know if you saw it the other day, where he was saying, that it's phenomenal what we've done, 5 and 6, whatever it was. We got the treble last year. Eventually there's going to be a time when we're not doing it and we need the fans to be with us through those times. And I just wonder if he knew something that the fans didn't, that he could see the writing on the wall. And even a coach as good as he is, albeit the fact that he's always had the best cattle, to work with Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Man City with all their money, you've still got to do it. Many managers have had access to a lot of money and not done it. So, but even with him, it's got to come to a stage where the magic runs out for a little bit, and he needs to move on. So he's been there a fair amount of time now. And other sides, I mean, Arsenal, they look like they had a slip, and now look at them, 2 points clear. They're 6 points above City, even your mates, mate, who are getting abused left, right, and centre.
Ridiculous.
You're only 3 points behind them.
I know, isn't that crazy? Just absolutely nuts. Man United sitting there in 6th spot. Aston Villa in the Champions League spot. Lofty heights for them. Liverpool, I don't think they're sneaking up on anyone, but they're incredibly dangerous at the moment, aren't they? They just seem to be winning, strolling through games, clocking up another win.
Well, I know. Well, actually, some of them very late as well, and you've got to feel sorry for Luton, like getting turned over in the last minute in a couple of games, just lately. But Liverpool, I think they have sneaked up, because I don't think any of us took them seriously. Thought, they've had their moment in the sun and they're on the way out. But you look at it, and there they are, second in the table, and still looking as good as ever. I think it's good. I mean, it's good for the Premier League to have a little bit now, especially with the likes of Villa and Newcastle up there. And even though I'm going to have to wash my mouth out over Tottenham.
Don't say it.
I can't stand them. They're going to turn West Ham over tomorrow morning. But Postecoglou, I love him, mate. The style of football that he plays is what fans pay money for. None of this negative, let's not give the ball away, keep possession. If you got the ball, try and get it in their net. Not via a circuitous route, but knock it around, make runs, pass to each other in a forward direction. I mean, if you get to the byline, get the bloody ball into the box. Not your box.
That's it.
Their box.
Couple of other things. Harry Maguire got voted Player of the Month. I mean, I thought this was a comedy. I thought that was Ricky Gervais writing comedy, but it's not. It's actually true. Look, he's had a good month, but really, was he the best player in the Premiership for November?
I wouldn't say he was the best player in the Premiership for November, but I suppose if you gauge where someone has come from to where they've got to, that difference. Like if someone's playing reasonably well and then they have a great month, there's that much of a gap. But if someone's being maligned, pilloried, taken the mickey out of on the bench, and then suddenly he's a starter every week, and he is playing well. Like you can't, you watch him all the time. He is playing well. So I think there's a bit of that's come into giving him the award, but I think there's quite a few others that have played better than him.
Miles with us as we're talking football. Santa's pig! Yeah, now here we go. I've been calling for Jitka Klimkova to be sacked by New Zealand football. This is her tenure. The results from: played 32, won 5, drawn 6, lost 21, goals for 15, goals against 55. A 6-year contract. Explain that to me.
Yeah, there's no explanation. I will give you one explanation. New Zealand football.
Yeah.
And forever has it been the case. I think they had a reasonable period under Michael Glading, but other than that, it's really been an up and down ride. I mean, you remember the fraud of the last...
Yes. Andy Martin. Good God.
That they had, who London Irish managed to get rid of, and he bluffed his way in, and they are a shambles. 6 years is ridiculous. You've got to think that there's better talent over here. All I'll say is let's just enjoy it on a local level and enjoy the way that the Wellington Phoenix women so far have managed to sort of up their fortunes and are riding high in the Women's A-League.
We've been speaking for a few minutes now. I haven't heard from Olive. What's happened?
She's actually just... I'm watching the crap on the old cream and jelly, and she's just sort of plopped herself next to me, and she's fast asleep at the moment, which is always good.
You're watching what? What are you watching on the jelly?
I'm just watching a load of crap.
Oh, okay.
It's murder, actually. It's murder in Alaska. People getting murdered in Alaska.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking of taking you there on holiday. I've got a few tips. But the only thing with Olive is that while she's asleep, her backside is not. And honestly, she is just...
Hello.
Her bum is rancid at the moment. even Phil's moved outside.
Thank you for informing us, mate. Always good. Let's talk again next week.